John Morris, the director of the museum, on behalf of Everly Davis, who was here earlier, and our staff and our board, welcome to the museum. Anybody in this space for the first time? Outstanding. Well, welcome. We are in the midst of one of the greatest works of art ever created in our community, in my opinion. This is a work by Preston Jackson, who took 25 years on and off of his life, making hundreds of small painted bronze figures of real life stories brought to life, like Joe Louis standing up here by the rum boogie, or Preston's own father holding him as an infant baby with his twin sister. And every one of these pieces has a story. We are very lucky to be joined tonight by the artist himself, a member of our President's Advisory Council at the museum, and my longtime friend, Preston Jackson, in the house. He's going to say a few words. Preston Jackson.
Thank you very much. Well, I like to think of art making as not a job or anything like that, but it's a passion. And it's something that you automatically do. When I was a child, I didn't know I could actually make a living, and I mean, that was not a part of who I was and who I am. Even today, it amazes me that people would like to buy my art. But anyway, I'm not hitting or anything. But it's like one of those things, and it's well, in my bag, filled with drawings, and stories and writings, and I always keep this bag with me. So it's the same way with the art that you're looking at. When I sit down and model something out of wax and if I have to take a mold from it or anything, or put it together direct with steel and aluminum, it just happens with these. To me, it's a little bit like breathing. Not a little bit, but a lot like just breathing or food intake, something like that. So I was blessed, I guess. Most of all, I came from a very loving family, 10 children, 3 sets of twins in our family. Yeah, almost popping them out, But anyway, it's something that brought me to where I am today. When I moved up to Peoria from Decatur, Illinois, I stumbled into, or opened the door and walked into a place called Lakeview Museum. Remember that name? Mm-hmm. Lakeview Museum. And right away, they gave me a show. And I think they gave me another show, but this is where I met young John Morris over here, because he went to school with my daughter. And everything just happened. I didn't think he would end up, with such a beautiful job as running this place and bringing art from all cultures and everyone and every gender. So this is big. This is something that happened during my lifetime, and I appreciate being asked. Okay, if you have any questions now, I'm ready to go. Ready to go. I won't say what I said out there. Okay.
Do you have a favorite out of any of this?
Yeah. There are quite a few of them I like. I like this guy carrying this carcass here because Chicago was known, as a town, with big shoulders, but another reputation, the meat packing companies and the Pullman cars and the Haymarket Square and stuff like that. I worked in Chicago 30 years, teaching at the Art Institute, and 30 great years. My only problem with that is that I had to leave Macomb, Illinois, Western Illinois, and I didn't want to do it, and I had so many friends, so many people. But anyway, that is one of my favorites. I think the Cadillac, 1949 fishtail. Yeah, Cadillac. The beginning of the fins. I like that piece.
I know you love cars, Preston, and I was telling someone earlier, I said, before I knew Preston an artist, you were my customer.
That's right.
And I helped you, buy cars.
Yeah.
And then I see going through here, there's so many depictions of cars, and I remember, and maybe you can refresh my memory, when you were younger, you thought maybe I would do that when I grow up and get older. And I see all the cars here, and I wonder just your fascination still with cars. Does that still lead to art for you?
Definitely. When I was a child, I'll keep using that phrase if you don't get sick of it. But when I was a child, automobiles in the 1940s reminded me of big black water bugs. And they'd cruise up and down the street, slowly, and they would bounce. And when they come to a stop, they'd sort of settle. But my mind went crazy, because I could recognize every model by the sound. Yeah, by the sound, the muffler sound. Buicks were different from Fords, and of course Packard, but I learned a lot. I mean like just the engines on the P-51 Mustang. I think this is a C model. There was a B, that's the C model, the latest one. The guys up the street, Bobby Dansby, and I just call him names because I like to call names. But anyway, he was a pilot, for the Red Tails. And he was in our house, and he would pick my twin and I up like this, and he'd twirl us around and make airplane noises, So I remember that.
Did you have this entire thing envisioned when you started, or did it evolve over time? And how did that happen, if it did?
Yeah, you get an answer real quick. It's so similar to other paintings that I did, like soldiers and people working, on whale ships, and crowds tend to attract me because when crowds move, they all move, and it's like watching a flock of birds. So I think I was hooked on numerous things that make one statement, and that's to build a city that you are the mayor, you are the governor, and you can make them do and say anything you want simply by manipulating the gesture, So that's a power.